is part 20 of an ongoing series that was created by Darkows, Poisson Labo, and Reenko. Support them and catch up fully using the links below. It's now been 5 months since Majin Buu was trapped within the Demon Realm, and 6 months since the Grand Priest froze Universe 0. If you need a refresher, this happened back in Chapter 9 and Video 14, both of which are linked below. But the short version is that Paparoni of Universe 3 ventured to Universe 7 with what he called his Shinbot. His original intention was to team up with Android 17 and 18 given his expertise in robotics. Unfortunately, Majin Buu decided to eat the Shinbot and it transported him to a random location, a place completely unknown to our heroes. Or so they think. In this case, he's been taken to the Demon Realm. Anyway, unaware of how to get back to Universe 7, Buu is having the time of his life, stuffing his face with endless candies, cookies, and treats.
This place is heaven!
Among the heaps and heaps of candy, the Shinbot remains somewhat intact. At least the Majin had the frame of mind not to eat it of all things. Spotting it for himself, he recognizes that's the device that brought him here, but he still doesn't know what it is. More importantly, where is Mr. Satan? It's hard to call this place heaven without his best friend. Interrupting his train of thought is the footstep of a stranger, accompanied by a sultry voice that says, "I can finally approach you, Majin Buu." Revealing a very skinny, demon-like person. Eyeing the stranger up and down, Buu asks who he is. He doesn't look like the others he turned into candy. Which I guess old habits die hard when Majin Buu is without his moral compass. The man happily explains that Archduke is his title, but simply Traguna is more than enough for the Majin to address him by. This name may follow the Disney Bibbidi Bobbidi Boo naming scheme, as the word Traguna first appeared in the movie Bedknobs and Broomsticks as part of a 5-word spell, a spell that gives life to that which does not have it. We'll dive more into this later if this theory holds up. Though clearly not a fan of this gentleman, Buu screams that he doesn't understand what he means by Archduke, but he senses evil and malice in him just like the others. And Satan told him how to deal with those who seem malicious, so he can turn into nougats! Confidently requesting he wait. Not only does Bubblegum comply, but this also tells us he's at least moved on from transforming innocent people like he did on Earth, just the evil ones. Traguna expresses that he is currently in the Demon Realm. And naturally, he himself is a demon, so it's pretty normal that a malevolent force leaks from his aura. However, Majin Buu is a demon too, yet he has a good heart, doesn't he? Pausing, but still highly skeptical of this guy. Buu agrees that's right. Buu has a good heart, but what does he want from him then? The demon details how for 5 months, what he calls primary demons have been trying to approach Majin Buu calmly. And Buu has been unleashing his transformation ray on them to feed himself. He actually seems to have transformed all of the demons in this area, if not even more. But their sovereign leader requested him personally to fetch Buu, so here he is. Somehow this doesn't set off alarm bells with our mushy pink friend. In fact, he uses this opportunity to inquire if he knows what this robot thing is. Retaining his charm, the demon admits that he himself isn't a scientist, but they have a lot of people who can probably figure out the secrets of this technology. He'll be able to take them to them and see what they can do. His joy fading away, Buu grows sadder remembering that he came here with it, and he thinks Mr. Satan is worried that he's gone. Well, in that case, the Demon Realm native urges him to follow. They will find a solution. Universe 6. Though not Planet Sadala. We're finally rejoined with Hit. The last time we saw him, he had given Frost a... whatever that was. Addressing the Frost Demon, he's surprised to see him wide awake. He then chides that this is the cost to those who have the audacity to take on someone stronger than themselves. Back in his suppressed form, Frost bears an oxygen mask as he stutters that he didn't expect that. And now, he's reduced to this. While he hovers in a chair similar to Frieza, if we look close, we can see that his leg is still heavily bandaged, likely inferring that it couldn't be reattached or regenerated. It continues that Frost returned to his restricted form during his time out of consciousness. This was likely his body's natural response to conserve strength. Either way, he's been in a coma for the last 5 months. He may as well also mention that now is the last time he wants to deal with them. No more stalking, no more challenges. Though the villain smirks that Hit brought him all the way back here while he's a wanted fugitive. He could have just taken him straight to Sadala's Special Forces, or the Galactic Order authorities, but he didn't. What a pleasant surprise. Perhaps there's an underlying reason he chose to do this. Looking out a window, the assassin points out that he hasn't realized where he's been taken to yet, has he? Getting his attention, Frost heads over to see for himself and is horrified at this revelation. Although the origins haven't been explained to the reader yet, they're currently on Planet Frost 586, prompting the demon to curse Hit for this decision, who elaborates that he won't hand him over to anyone because no one has hired him to do so. He also doesn't consider himself to be much better than Frost in morality, given what he himself has done over his long life, so it'd be hypocritical to hand him over to the authorities as well. However, Frost left this planet abandoned after launching a wave of organized piracy throughout the surface of this world. He then made its inhabitants believe that he had saved them from their enemies, who were in reality Frost's own accomplices. He then left everyone here in total misery after he realized this world wasn't worth anything. And now they know he's here. They've just been waiting for him to wake up to make him pay for everything he's done to them. Perhaps a fate worse than dying mid-coma. Lashing out against Hit. And to be fair, gambling for a much quicker demise. Hit appears behind his foe and states that he's not the only one who's been consumed by a need for revenge. Or does he feel that his is more legitimate than theirs? Hit has shown him that he's the stronger of the pair. Now Frost has to show him that his speech is worthwhile. After this, he'll think about it. What the assassin refers to is back in Chapter 4. Frost sneers that he too knows what it's like to be forced into a mold, which is why the Frost demons are so persistent. He's telling him all of this because it almost sounds like Hit doesn't like his job, or perhaps even his life. Vanishing without further discussion. Frost furiously wonders what the heck he should do now. The people here knows he's on the planet. Fine, but do they know his whereabouts exactly? It doesn't matter. He'll make them all kneel before him, and he'll destroy this miserable planet as a final thank you and be done with it. Calming himself, he acknowledges that by doing this, he risks attracting the attention of the galactic authorities. And from what Hit said, if he's going to get his revenge, he must prove to him that he can follow through on his convictions. First things first, he has to get out of this place. With Boo. As the two travel along, Triguna must say that it's an honor to be in the company of the great demon Majin Buu. To see him during these last few months crush the primary species that threw themselves at him endlessly and not even show the slightest trace of fatigue has been impressive to watch. Who innocently explains that he only needs to sleep for a few seconds, and he's recharged for a long time. Taking interest in this fact, it seems that they'll soon arrive to the Sovereign Leader's tower. Though Boo has to know, this Sovereign, can it be eaten? But of course not! He's the ruler of this kingdom! Albeit a little disgruntled, Boo just figures, oh well, too bad. The demon details how he is superior to the primary species of this world, which include both Enginsons and artificial beings. Enginsons being synonymous with the common demon descendants in this case. However, they nobles of the demon realm come from the same fruit as the Supreme Kais, a breed he believes his visitor has dealt with in the past. And more than Triguna probably understands, as Boo is well aware that the essence of the Grand Supreme Kai still dwells within him. Going on, when the demon nobles emerge, they're destined to become either Kais or Supreme Kais, but it seems that their existence as demons is related to the overall living standard in the universe in which they're born. The more the imbalance between creation and destruction increases, the more likely it is that the fruits will become corrupted, giving rise to the demon Kais. Triguna himself was born from one of these corrupted fruits, just like Dabura, the former king of demons who Boo killed. With that little story out of the way, they've arrived at the tower. The Majin exclaims in excitement how far into the sky it goes. Their sovereign leader is at the top of this tower, but he wanted Boo to go upstairs and confront their fighters before meeting them. Only wanting to know if he beats them and gets to meet this sovereign guy, will they make sure his robot's fixed? We'll be more than glad to have all the scientists in this kingdom look into the matter. So in Boo's head, all he has to do is beat all the fighters in this tower, and he'll get to see Mr. Satan again. No! Taking down the tower itself in one swoop, the Majin destroyed everything. The Demon Realm's most important fighters are now dead. With an upbeat sparkle in his voice, Majin Buu congratulates himself on a job well done. But why doesn't all of it fall? Well, most of the tower itself is in shambles and undoubtedly containing the remains of many demons who are profoundly confused, but only for a second or two. Traguna chortles. Well. Gravity does not always have a say in this world. Gazing upward and shooting ahead of steam. Who wants to hurry up and meet this leader person? But there's no one here. No one interesting, at least. When a menacing voice calls out.
What a happy event to see you here today, Majin Buu.
Excited to hear this. Who assumes this must be the Sovereign? And of course he's a literal troll doll. He reveals that his name is Higidus, and he is indeed the absolute ruler of this place, otherwise known as the Demon Supreme Kai. And even though Higidus doesn't appear in Bedknobs and Broomsticks, it does appear in Disney's A Sword in the Stone, as part of one of Merlin's spells. But him! Buu knows him! He remembers! He was with Bibbidi. He thinks. Maybe. He doesn't really know. However, Higidus utters that this is quite impressive. He did indeed have connections with the wizard Bibbidi. Several million years ago, that is. Fuming, this causes Buu to speculate that Bibbidi was his friend. But certainly not. Bibbidi was a selfish wizard, seeking control over the world. He simply realized that there was some sort of unhealthy singularity in the depths of the universe. The embodiment of evil that seemed to take shape. But Buu was at that moment. The singularity was only a concept that fed on all the bad energy around it. The wizard cackled out that he could give you shape. Higidus' mission, on the other hand, was to get Buu back and bring him here. Before he could do that, Bibbidi would bring him to life as the concept he was at the time. It happened exactly as he planned. And once Buu had come to life, even if he resembled nothing of what he is today, he exploded with rage and destroyed about 80% of the demon realm, so Bibbidi took the opportunity to leave with him. And if that wasn't enough, it was his alter ego, or son, or clone, or whatever the canon is this week, Bobbidi, who had the nerve to come back here and force Tabura to become corrupted. So no, believe it or not, Bibbidi was anything but his friend. That's all he has to say on the matter. No, mowing down on some popcorn. Guess he wasn't listening. When Traguna enters shouting for his lord's attention. Taking a knee, he apologizes for what Majin Buu did. He had no idea he would annihilate the entire tower and all the soldiers within it. Thinking, the Sovereign shouts to the Majin. He wants to cut to the chase. What he's getting at is now that he's here, and with this meddlesome war coming up on the horizon, he would like Majin Buu to become the new hound of the demon nobles. Their ultimate weapon. What does the big guy say to that? Presenting the Shimbot. He wants them to fix this robot. Tregu thing said they would fix it if he helps them. Traguna utters that this is the object that allowed him to come here. It seems that there was only a random destination entered into it, and him getting here was purely chance. Seeming to be a lucky coincidence to the demon leader. But being in the perfect place to make such a request, Buu bellows out that he wants to talk to Satan. Coming to an agreement, Higidus inquires if their scientist fix his teleporter. Would he consider their proposal? And if this means he can talk to Hercule again, then okay. Which sounds perfect to his host. Handing over the Shimbot, Traguna is ordered to get this object to the scientific area. Further explaining to the Majin, Higidus once knew the progenitor of all those angels who sit atop of everything, and he is 100% sure that she will want to enlist them and all of the other demon realms of the other universes. Referring to Kansei, the mother of all angels. So he would like to have a consistent defense in case it's needed. That being said, Buu looked much more dangerous than his previous guys, but the Sovereign thinks he knows what to exploit in order to make him stronger. Piquing his interest, the demon lets out a giant smile as he's pretty sure the creature in front of him is already aware of the ability, known as absorption. While there are many layers to unravel here, the biggest seems to be that Majin Buu will get to speak to Mr. Satan again, but is destined to be on the wrong side when it comes for the war to start. The other, what exactly is Higidus planning on having Buu absorb to increase his power? With Frost scurrying about the planet, the villain wants to go unnoticed. After all, every single person on this world likely seeks revenge against him. He's going to have to evade this passerby and pretend nothing. But he looks just like him. Though that may or may not have actually been hit, the assassin nonetheless keeps an eye on the fiend. When somebody new approaches him from behind to say, "So, here he is at last." The hitman only confirms this in response. We then get a look at this woman's face, which is somewhat similar to Hit's own besides the antennae. She wants to know if Hit is sure that this guy is capable of anything. Although he can't be sure of it, he is pretty confident. The woman goes on to tell how they called on Hit because they were more or less certain that his reputation precedes him, but to bring in this man who's done nothing to them but so much harm. She doesn't see how he can save them. They're talking about a solar flare so powerful it'd reduce all of them to ashes within a few seconds. And even though we're talking about an actual solar flare and not the thing Krillin stole from Tien, the assassin only implores her to have faith. Looking up, Frost figures he just has to get out of here and go straight into space. If that stupid hitman won't teach him any of his techniques, he'll just have to take his revenge on his own. But stopping him dead in his tracks, Hit scowls that he warned him already. He's lucky he only took aim at a kidney. Next time, he'll turn his heart into dust. He sees the Frost Demon. He follows him, and no matter what he does to try to get away, he will stop him. Does he understand? Writhing in pain, Frost spats that he just passed a man who looked exactly like the assassin. Where the heck is he? When a giant aura is unleashed on the planet, this energy, this strength, what is... Even Hit is caught completely by surprise. Such intensity at this distance, it's unthinkable. A monstrous wave of energy travels through the entirety of Universe 6 in only fractions of a second. No creature in this universe, when touched by such power, escapes the all-consuming fear that plunges them into an abyss of unfathomable anguish. As on planet Sadala, the rage of a Saiyan echoes with a deafening roar to the heart of every life form, even light years away.